Today I'm going to be working with Andre to demonstrate a safe, effective leg curl exercise. It's for the hamstrings. How are you today, Andre?
Great.
Now, Andre is actually a physical therapist and a former bodybuilder. Now, Andre, you like to work out regularly. You watch your diet pretty carefully, and you also have a couple kids. Is this difficult to manage?
Yes, it is.
Why do you do it?
Because it's important.
It's
That's
important
the
to
issue.
you.
Right.
And you want to be a good role model for your kids.
Right.
Now, the leg curl is for the hamstrings, but is probably one of the most difficult exercises to do correctly because it's such a foreign movement for most people. Now, let's take a brief look at the anatomy of this exercise, shall we? The hamstring muscles are located opposite the quadriceps muscles and serve a couple of functions, the most important of which is to bend the knee to enable you to run. Now, the hamstrings consist of actually three separate muscles. The biceps femoris, which is here, it's actually the largest muscle, the semimembranosus, which is here, and the semitendinosus underneath over here. Now, all of them attach as a group to the ischial tuberosity of the pelvis right there. You actually sit on it, and down here on the tibia bone. So when they contract, they bend the knee. Now, the hamstrings tend to be really tight on most people, especially desk jockeys and older adults. So we're going to go over a great stretch for them after going over today's exercise, the leg curl. Now, the first thing to do with this exercise is to set the machine adjuster so that it fits your body. Now, to do this, Andre, go ahead and stand in the machine. So he's going to stand there, and as he lays down, his kneecaps are going to go just over the edge of the machine, right over here underneath the pad. So his kneecaps are not touching the pad, they're just over the edge. Now, if he had shorter tibias here, he'd have to adjust the leg rest so that it was more like this. But see, that's up into his calf, so we have to lengthen it like so. Now, Andre's prone or lying on his belly, and he's going to lay flat. So he's going to grab the handlebars, starting with his head and working our way down. Let's get everything set. Now, the head should be straight ahead, looks fine. The shoulder blades should be retracted or pulled back. That's okay. And the belly should be pulled up and in without moving the pelvis. See, that looks pretty good right now. Actually, go ahead. Yeah. Now pull the belly in a little bit. You ready? Okay, giddy up. Go ahead and come up, and then go right back down again. And try to keep this as smooth as you can. Now, watch carefully as Andre's pelvis stays completely still. This is kind of what you're watching for right here, right where my hand is. Because what you don't want to have happen is the pelvis to tilt anteriorly. See, he is doing a little bit, but not horribly. That can really increase compressive forces in the lumbar spine. So you want to keep this as still as you can with the belly up and in. So watch carefully as Andre's pelvis stays almost completely still, almost still, with his belly drawn in and the scapula retracted to protect his back. The tendency, strong tendency, is to tilt the pelvis forward and arch the low back during the leg curl to make it easier on the hamstrings. Why does this make it easier? Let's take a look. Grab that in. So let's pretend now Andre's the pelvis, I'm the tibia. This is the hamstrings. So notice that when the pelvis tilts, if I take a step back, see? If both ends move, the hamstrings just simply teeter back and forth. But when kept still, and I move, the tibia moves, the hamstrings now are working. Now for this, do a couple sets of 15 repetitions, but try to get your rate of perceived exertion or your intensity level at about a 5 to 6 out of 10 if you're just starting out, but go for an 8 if you're advanced, like Andre. Just make sure that your pelvis stays still, your belly stays in, and your shoulder blades stay retracted.